guys, hope you're well. So today I wanted to talk about HPPD, hallucinogenic perception disorder. So just right off the bat, I don't really believe in these labels and these names that doctors give these conditions. Typically they're just to kind of fulfill DSM-5 regulations, and there's just so many different conditions out there that I feel just fall under the same bracket. So I kind of ignore the name on that, but I was actually diagnosed with HPPD by, I think, one of only 3 HPPD visual snow specialists in the world, Dr. Aldevista, based out of the Netherlands. Based on the symptoms that I had, he diagnosed me with HPPD, and as every doctor on the planet seems to do these days, gave me a whole cocktail of pills to try to kind of alleviate my symptoms. So it became quickly evident that that wasn't working for me, and I actually moved country, and I kind of got in touch with some really cool people, some fantastic scientists. One in particular who was an ex-Russian scientist who runs a clinic out of an island off Greece and sees people from all over the world. And I actually remember walking into him and explaining that I had this condition called HPPD, and he just kind of looked at me and just laughed. And he said that firstly, it's not possible to have this type of symptoms from injecting a pill, a medication, a drug, or having a panic attack. It's just not a condition within itself. So I went on to do some more kind of discovery around the topic, read up a lot on it, and it became very evident to me that HPPD was not brain damage, as some of you guys think it is. It wasn't drug-induced brain damage, it wasn't pharmaceutical-induced brain damage, it wasn't from a panic attack. What actually had happened is I'd had a pretty traumatic period of time, and energy had got stuck, similar to the way people get traumatized. You will see war vets and victims of rape who can actually have very similar kind of symptoms. War veterans typically come back from war with light sensitivity, with tinnitus, with hallucinations, all sorts of crazy stuff, and typically that's when the trauma that they've experienced has not been processed in their body. That's put their energetic body and their physical body out of alignment, and that's why they start to get the symptoms that they do. So in that case, the brain becomes inflamed, and this is what was taught to me, is when the brain is inflamed, you can have a million symptoms. Anything. Hallucinations, physical symptoms, anxiety, depression, DPDR, all comes about from when your brain is inflamed. So based on that information, I started to do my own research, and through implementing some exercises and basically trying to get back into my body, realizing that my energetic state and my physical state had become misaligned, things started to improve very rapidly. All of my visual symptoms went away, everything started to resolve and drop off. So I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, yeah, we've heard this before, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean, I went down that road as well. I was very skeptical when people came up with a cure, and I was in all these groups. I was in speaking to a lot of old timers who had HPPD for a long period of time, and I was given all these kind of methods of how to deal with it through regimented uses of clonazepam and various different medications like lamotrigine. I'd also done a lot of other stuff in terms of kind of neurofeedback and TMS, trying to kind of resolve my symptoms. And it was actually only until I kind of took healing back into my own hands that things started to change. and I started fixing myself. So in terms of what trauma does to the body, it's really, really crazy. It can be responsible for so many things. And a lot of people that I see in the groups, I see it very clearly now. People are kind of in this trauma denial state as well. If you look at the books of Peter Levine, who's one of the world's leading authors on trauma, works with, you know, war veterans and all sorts of people with very, very severe trauma. He talks about trauma denial as being a symptom of the condition. So this is when you are so identified with your condition that you feel that there's no hope and you don't see it as something that's traumatic. And I see that a lot in the groups now looking back. So after implementing all these exercises, after getting back into my body, after realizing that this was simply imbalance in my energetic and my physical fields, things started changing for me. I have no symptoms now. Things started falling off very quickly. And, you know, within my own family, I had a family member who also suffered from visual snow, HPPD-like symptoms, who unfortunately took the wrong path and was given a lot of pharmaceuticals and wasn't actually given the time to actually experience the trauma and allow the trauma to dissipate through his body, hence allowing the symptoms to resolve. So he was stuck in that loop for about 10 to 15 years. So that's what it is. HPPD is simply a trauma loop. And once you start unpacking the layers of trauma, balancing the energetic fields in the body, this disbalance will go away. Your body will come back into homeostasis, and I guarantee all of your symptoms will go. So it's not a life sentence. If people are telling you it is, or people are telling you that it's no hope, or you've got to live with this, this is all false. This is incorrect. These people are stuck in trauma loops, and that's part of the condition. So I just wanted to kind of reach out to you guys and say that this is not a life sentence. I was in the same boat as you guys. You know, the old phrase of when you're going through hell, keep walking. That definitely applies to this, but you can get better. Once you know how to operate the body, and once you get the proper manual of how to kind of operate these things, things will start to resolve for you guys. So I've created some free videos on my channel. So I hope you guys subscribe to that as I go through, you know, details of my daily routine of how I kind of overcame these symptoms and how I started living normally again. So it's I hope you guys subscribe, and I hope you find the videos useful. And yeah, just keep the hope that this is not a life sentence. You can and will recover. Cheers guys. Bye.